tell us about the experience of, being in Scary Movie. Like, it's really legendary. Like, Scary Movie,
Yeah.
6-1, like, it's a great franchise. Talk to us about, how it felt to be part of the movie.
I'm not going to lie to you. I was happy. I auditioned for it, and I was in New York at the time, and like I'm not in New York here. Sorry, my bad. I was in New York and I auditioned for another part, and then I auditioned for another part. Got a call back for another part because people are like, yeah, Marlon just gave it to you. I was like, nah, really, it don't even be like that. And then got it, shot it in Atlanta. It was cool, man. Like it was cool. Like I've worked with Marlon before, like on set on some things, but like. Again, like Sydney Park, I've seen her since she's been a kid. She used to come into the Improv as like an 8 or 9 year old, and her dad and mom. My mom's black, is a director. You know what I mean? So I've seen her for a long time, and I remember getting in a makeup chair. I haven't seen her in years. I just saw her like blowing up. Like, damn, we do makeup, and they say Sydney, and she looks, and she's like. And, I was like, I haven't seen you since you've been like you've been doing so well. So that was cool. And it's like
That's
being
dope.
on set with like I started comedy with Damon Jr. So just it's like almost like I would equate it to like the All-Star game. We don't see everybody because everybody working, and then you can see everybody.
Yeah.
That way I hadn't seen Shawn in forever. Shawn is so cool. You know what I mean? It was cool. Then I had lines, and it's like when you're working, it's fun, but you still gotta be professional, and all this is expensive. All this. So even though like 3 or 4 lines, it's still a professional. You don't be flubbing. You know what I mean? So it was fun. You know what I mean? It was fun. It was fun.
dope.
Now look, afterwards it's like this with movies. I don't tell nobody nothing. You know what I mean? Because you don't know if you get cut. You don't know.
Right.
4 lines. You don't know.
Right.
And then I hit him, and I'll be like, "Yo, what's up? How you doing?" He's like, "Sydney, I'm still editing," because he know why I'm calling. And then he hit me. He was like, "Yo, you made it for real." I said, "For real?" He was like, "Yeah." Still didn't say nothing because you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so I got to go to my first red carpet. That was cool. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not a dude that like need attention.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of introverted, low key.
Yeah.
The stage is where I like express. So the red carpet is like all the big celebrities going. You know what I mean? Boom, boom. And I'm sitting there, and then Steve was like, he worked with Marlon. He was like, "Tell him you." I said, "Tell him what?" And he was like, "Sydney's in the movie." And they don't know what that means. It's like,
Right.
okay, they wrote me on the board. Now this is funny. They say, we have Sydney Castillo. Right now, look, in your head, it's gonna be like,
Right.
It is not that. Let me tell you something. That's for the stars. They're like, we have, what's his name? And then you go to the next. But to see everybody, I was acting like you know what I mean? I was happy. I was on the carpet doing this, like talking to my homeboy who was behind the cameras. And then I look up, I'm on Entertainment Tonight. It's the lead. She's like saying something deep, like, this movie meant so much to me, and just because the franchise and Keenen believing in me, it's me in the back, like, yo, like talking to another homeboy. So that experience is cool. Like my friends hit me back up from back home, hit me up. That's all cool.
I love the Wayans family. I feel like they don't get enough respect and credit just as pioneers and for people that moved through the industry and never, wavered. They always were integrity based, even leaving and living color because contracts and whatever it was.
They're good people.
They're just really good from
And
New
family
York.
based.
And a fan.
Yeah.
And even they are the reason why the halftime show is what it is. They just did so much for the culture. And even, are you cool with because you said when you call him, is that Marlon? Is him when you say him?
Yeah.
So how did you guys meet and, how did that develop?
He started comedy. Like I knew Damon Jr. 23 years old, and Marlon started comedy. He would come to like the pizza clubs. He would do all the open mics, and like to me, not to be funny. Now he a young comic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's Marlon, but he would never bump nobody. He earned people respect just because in comedy it's like he can come up and literally be like, "I'm Marlon. I'm gonna go before you." He'd like put me up after everybody. I don't want to bump nobody. And he was just really cool. So then I did it in Living Color. It was supposed to come back in like 2011. And this is really why I don't tell people nothing. And I thought it was going to come out. I tell everybody back home, like, we on. And it didn't come out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So a little bit of rapport with him there. I did a show called Funniest Wins in CBS. He hosted it. I ended up winning that show. And when I won that show, I ended up going on a road with him shortly thereafter. And then we started like kind of building a friendship in like maybe 2015. You know what I mean?
Dope.
But from a perspective of like, yeah, he's famous, but in comedy, it's like me trying to help him in comedy. He has famous brothers and all that insight. But on the road, if I'm there, like whatever I can help him in doing. And in turn, I learned from him really about like how to handle your business as a professional. Yeah, he's famous, and I think what I learned from Marlon though is, let's say we got press in the morning. Press is at 7 a.m. Cool. He never gonna be there for press. As soon as he walks in, he's on. But he's on purpose to sell tickets. You know what I mean? So it's like as soon as he walk in, he gonna hit your jersey. He gonna hit your shoes. He gonna hit your dress. He gonna hit your look. You might not get to your first question. He don't care. He making everybody laugh. He's gonna buy tickets.
Right.
And you know, at the shows at 6, every day at 4 o'clock. The show is 6. At 4 o'clock, he in the gym for an hour and a half. I'm not even you. And I'm like, I'm not going. Bring your fat ass. I used to be heavier.
Right.
He there. So his work ethic, and then like he does his shows. Cool. Then he's like writing. You see him writing in the car. You see him writing. You be like, but that's every day. So if you're learning something from Marlon, like working with him, you see how to be professional. You know what I mean? You see how to handle your business. You see the goofy you see the goofy stuff, but like you see so much of like why he is in a position of how he is.
I'm so inspired by
Show
Keenen.
business.
Keenen.
Hey, listen, I will say this last thing. We did In Living Color. This is what I learned. This
Right.
is what I learned. Keenen is the director. Now, look, Keenen is the reason I got on that joint. I was a guest star. He liked my character. All the other white people didn't get it.
Right.
He got it. Keenen come on set. It's like whoever the Hall of Fame player, the best you ever, the Jordan, Keenen.
That's Keenen.
I remember Marlon was like saying something to an actor like, hey man, this time, Keenen walked on set, one director. He wasn't being disrespectful, whatever. When I tell you, the Marlon words stopped mid-sentence.
Right.
And everybody went back, and Keenen came up, and he was just like directing. It's like, you in awe. It's like, that's Keenen.
Yeah, nah, Keenen is the Hollywood Shuffle. Like,
Low Down Dirty Shame.
I'm gonna
and
get
Living
you, sucker.
Yeah,
I had to write a script for them, and Keenen is for Keenan's reading it. Damon Sr., Marlon, Shawn, Kim Wayans in the room, and they. I think it's funny. I wrote this for 2 days. I just been working on this sketch 3 days. Give it to him, Keenen. Yeah. Notes, and I was like sweating, having these geniuses break down the script, and Damon Sr. was like, no laughs. Let my friends read it. Ha! Let the icons read it. Like, okay. And then giving me notes is like a privileged situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like what I learned from that experience. Like you learn from these people, dog.
Yeah.
Like people be getting in front of people and be like, "Can I get a picture, man? F all that.
Right.
Can I get some knowledge?
I need a gem.
You feel me? Like, and if we working together, like help me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Damon Sr., like stand up wise, amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can learn a lot from him.
Something you said that sticks out to me, and I feel like that's like the basis of what they are, is the white people didn't get it, but he did. When the white people didn't get Damon on SNL, he created an SNL. When they didn't get it for James Carey, who became Jim Carrey, he made them understand.
Yeah, boy, incredible.
And that's what I love about that. I just want more of that. And I've opened up for Mr. Sydney one time, and I did the same thing. I was like, I don't want no picture. Can you give me some constructive criticism? I want to grow from this experience. And that's what I want. More of iron sharpening iron, and black people doing it when they don't get it. That's why we love you, Red Summer TV. Thank you.
Damon Sr. was like, stop standing to the back of the stage. You tall. You know, stand up closer to the stage. You being nervous back there. It looks like you get to the front of the stage. I'm like, at that time, you're like, yes, sir.
Right.
And you say, sir.
Yeah.
Aye, Captain.
Yeah.
And they don't do the nepotism. I mean, they do, but in their own way. You got it. They make their nephews, nieces, and all that audition like they did for Sydney.
Oh, yo, I want
Everybody
to say this
got
on camera because I'm
audition.
happy for Buddy. So Greg is a star in the movie, man. His name is Greg Wayans. I didn't watch Greg be like a stand-in for Marlon on different shows. He's a stand-in. He had like maybe one line. And I thought while we were working, I thought Greg was, again, like maybe doing like I had 4 lines. I thought Greg probably the same. And it wasn't until the premiere, I looked and I saw Greg. I was like, yo, I didn't know. He's like, yeah. I said, dog, I was so happy for him because you just watch the maturation process of like getting to that point.
Right.
So shout out to Greg, man. If y'all
He
go
probably
follow
didn't
him,
want to tell nobody either. He probably was in the living color too. He was like, let me not.
No, he's
tell
younger than me,
nobody.
dog. He wanted a younger
Yeah,
Wayne,
yeah.
but like it was
Yeah.
good to see. Like I had no idea. It was good to see him hold his weight and like he did his thing. I was very, very like genuinely like happy for Buddy.
Yeah, I love
Dope.
the Wayans. I grew up
That's
just
what's
like idolizing that whole family.